It's a big world out there. I love to get something going. I am the type of person who cannot sit still very long, a real workaholic. The most difficult thing in the world for me to do is to do nothing. Some people might call that taking a rest, but not for me. Taking a rest for me borders on torture, so I am always on the go. As a result, I have always got my hands into something. I have no use for getting something started and then forgetting about it. So I like young people who not only get something going, but immerse themselves totally into what they have begun. Because of this intensity of involvement, such people may have a greater chance of failure than, say, people who do not do anything. But at the same time, they are the kind of people who take a failure or two in stride as part of the experience, and they do not become discouraged. If you have the courage to look at failure this way, then you are on your way to eventual success. Someone who is afraid of failure and afraid to face challenges will never taste success. It is a big world out there waiting for you, and there is lots to be done. You have to find places that people have never been before, and you have to do things that people have not done before. History has been made by people who have been willing to do those things. These people are the real pioneers. Of course, there is danger in pioneering, but that is inevitable. Pioneers take paths that have not been paved, and they may even be cursed for it. But danger and criticism do not bother real pioneers. They forge ahead, making new paths, and in the end, they are praised for what they have done. History proves that the power and prosperity of nations have been built on the pioneering spirit, and that ruin comes from complacency and evasion of responsibility. Could the United States be as prosperous and powerful as it is if it were not for the pioneering spirit? No one can deny the effect of this spirit on making the United States what it is today. Although Korea has a long history, it has had little of this pioneering spirit. Throughout history, Koreans have preferred tranquility over progress and evasion over challenge. We have had a strong tendency to become quickly resigned to situations. Perhaps this is due to our ancient Confucian customs of courtesy and propriety, which in fact have earned the nation such nice names as the Eastern Land of Etiquette and the Land of the Morning Calm. But it is clear that as a result of this historical passivity, we are now far behind world powers in terms of national strength. When Daewoo was founded, we immediately looked beyond national borders to the international market. At a time when export was generally perceived as a worthless venture, the big companies in those days were all importers and did not give even a thought to export. So we began to pioneer exports. Despite everyone saying that it would not work, we met the challenge and achieved success. The epitome of foolishness is to say something impossible without even trying. Daewoo's early spirit of pioneering led us not only to the American and European markets, but to markets in nations with which Korea did not even have diplomatic relations: Sudan, Nigeria, Libya, Angola, Algeria, the People's Republic China, Vietnam, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, and the Soviet Union. Daewoo's enterprising spirit in opening such markets for Korea eventually led directly to diplomatic relations: Sudan, Algeria, Nigeria, and the Soviet Union. It is a big world out there waiting. Although it may not appear that way to someone who only wants to walk familiar paths and to do familiar things. To those people, the world is as narrow as their familiar paths, and their work is as limited as familiar habits. To pioneers who are willing to walk new paths and try new things, the world is indeed a big place, and there is unlimited work to do. This is how I have lived, and this is how L will go on living. Getting new things going and putting everything into them that I can